Wood smoking to all my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. In this video, we got Jason Aldean, who I reacted to his song and music video. Try that in a small town. Go check that out. But Jason Aldean sues Whoopi Goldberg for defaming small town song. The View enters panic mode. So original link will be in the description. And we're going to hop right into this. Here we go.
We just got a huge update in the Jason Aldean situation with his try that in a small town and his cancellation. As you can see on the screen right here, Jason Aldean files defamation suit against Whoopi Goldberg and The View. I am no racist is what Jason Aldean had to say to that situation. If you didn't see my video on Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of The View reacting to Jason Aldean, in my opinion, it definitely was, and I'm no legal expert obviously, it definitely was grounds for defamation. And I think that they're lucky that they haven't gotten sued a whole lot longer ago, because they defame tons and tons of people with no ground to stand on. I mean, the things that Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of them were making up about Jason Aldean and the song Try That in a Small Town, you would think that they never listened to the song. And I'll show you a clip from Whoopi Goldberg's statements and why Jason Aldean would be suing Whoopi Goldberg in just a couple seconds here. But also, we have this news that somehow slid under the radar. I don't think a lot of people have been talking about this, but Jason Aldean is also filing a $58 million First Amendment lawsuit against CMT, the country radio station that censored the Try That.
Looks like everything might work in his favor
In a small town song. Let's check out some of the details regarding this lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg and The View filed by Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean says he's taking the advice of counsel and filing a $40 million defamation suit against Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, Joy, and the rest of the host of ABC's The View. The suit, filed in the 65th District Court of Writs in Motion, seeks damages from both the show itself as well as the individuals who called Aldean racist. ABC responded by saying they had no idea that the show's host would be so brutal, but held firm that the show is protected First Amendment free speech. What ABC failed to remember is that free speech doesn't save Whoopi from screaming fire in a crowded theater. She needs to pay for her little stunt, said Aldean's attorney. They all do. Their behavior wasn't just abhorrent, it was un-American. Yes, I don't think they would take offense to that statement whatsoever. I don't think they like America at all. I don't think they enjoy being called American. They don't want anything to do with this country. They hate everything that is pro-America. So I don't think that Whoopi Goldberg...
I've never really watched The View, so I'm not too familiar on how they are. But yeah, everything definitely gonna work in Jason Aldean's favor. It already is. You know, just even having all that type of backlash, it made people even go harder and support even harder. So
Goldberg or Sunny Hostin or Joy Behar, I don't think any of them from The View would have any issue with that statement at all. Whoopi told Cynthia Luhu that she's not worried about another lawsuit she heard about from the Dunning-Kruger Times. Just keep that Skip guy away, sweetie, she told Cindy. I'll give you all the scoops. I like to support the Asian community. Jesus. Luhu told Whoopi that she didn't particularly care for the stereotypes since she's Lithuanian, but she did agree that Skip is a bit of a creep. Let's also check out what Whoopi Goldberg had to say about Jason Aldean in this clip. It's pretty insane what these people have been getting away with, what Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of The View have been getting away with, not just with the Jason Aldean Try That in a Small Town situation, with so many other situations that I've covered over the last year or so of The View just absolutely going in, defaming people, just saying things that straight up aren't true about people just because they dislike them. I can't believe they've lasted this long without a serious lawsuit, at least as far as I know. I'm no expert on The View and their past legal experiences, but from everybody that I have seen them and I have covered them defame, I haven't seen any lawsuits hit them, at least major ones. So let's check out what Whoopi Goldberg actually had to say about Jason Aldean and why his song Try That in a Small Town was so racist.
So country singer Jason Aldean is getting backlash for the video of his song Not in a Small Town.
Not in a small you'll see in this clip, I played it already a couple times on stream and in a past video. He messes up so much about this story that, like I said earlier, it seems like Whoopi Goldberg has never...
This is hilarious to me.
...even listened to the song Try That in a Small Town, or even watched the music video for the song.
Which critics are saying is racist. It's got lyrics, racist lyrics, and images. Aldean says the song's about unity. Here's South Dakota Christy Nome defending him. Here's the clip.
So she hasn't gotten anything right so far. And we're going to skip over this clip because it's just kind of irrelevant for this video. We want to see what Whoopi had to say and why Jason Aldean is suing Whoopi Goldberg. So let's check out the rest of what Whoopi had to say here.
Play anymore? You own South Dakota now? Listen, you know, there are lyrics in the song, and I think, you know, he talks about life in a small town and it's different, you know, and he shows these images. He's got folks from the Black Lives Matter movement, and he's talking about people taking care of each other. And I find it so interesting that it never occurred to Jason or the writers that that's what these folks were doing. They were taking care of the people in their town because they didn't like what they
destroying, you know, businesses that been there for a long time and pretty much ruining the neighborhood. I don't see how that was taking care of the community. Most of those people that were doing that were not even from the community. Around the time that that movement was really, I guess, at its height, I was in New York City, and the people that movement would be for, I didn't see them out there. I didn't even nobody. I don't know who that was out there doing all that stuff. I mean, yeah, you had some dumb teens or dumb people, but majority of people wasn't even really paying that too much mind like that. So yeah, I don't know what that was. Anybody could go into these inner cities and doing it. It's just too many people, you know. So it's like, but it's like the everyday people I was seeing, they worried about everyday struggles, you know, and they didn't have time to really be out there acting up. I'm sure there was like I said, you know, young teens who don't have no time, you know, or who have a lot of time on their hand, who, you know, but other than that, like, taking care of the community isn't destroying, you know, the businesses that help keep the community alive. So let me just put that out there.
Just like you talk about people taking care of each other in small towns. We do the same thing in big towns. You just have to realize that when you make it...
You just gotta realize, Jason, that whenever they're setting buildings on fire, blowing cars up, setting dumpsters on fire, and everything like that, assaulting people, that's all just them standing in solidarity with each other. They're just taking care of each other, Jason. Like, you just gotta understand where Whoopi's coming from and where these rioters are coming from, man.
About Black Lives Matter, people kind of say, well, are you talking about black people? What are you talking about here? If we're talking about Americans taking care of each other, then it shouldn't be about Black Lives Matter. You should be able to show all the different things that have gone on in our country where people stood up and said no more. We do the same thing that small towns do. That's my 2 cents to that.
And there was a whole like 15 or 20-minute segment that they did just trashing on Try That in a Small Town.
I don't know. It just all seems so like... It honestly starts to feel staged after a while. I'm going to have to go with Ryan Upchurch on this, where he said he feels like this be marketing strategies when people get canceled. I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, it gets so petty. It just doesn't help with the evolution of humans. It really doesn't. Like, it's just... It's not even that serious. Like, that song specifically, it's like... There's way worse songs. There's way, you know, you got rappers talking about literally murdering each other. That's what I'm saying. I don't watch The View, but this my question that people do. Does Whoopi Goldberg and these cast and members of The View, do they talk about these songs from these popular artists, from people from Chicago and these really terrible, you know, neighborhoods that are talking about, like, literally involved in real gangs and say real names of people who have been murdered and have real beefs going on and keep that going? Do they speak about that? Because that song is nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't heard like this, some of these songs out here. I mean, I don't seen a song about a 14-year-old that got stabbed to death, and the people that, you know, had problems with him made a song that, you know, about mocking his death that went viral. Like, do they speak about these things? Do they speak about these things? Because Try That in a Small Town, it's not crazy. Like, he just telling you, you know, it's not, I don't know. Like, it's not a big, shouldn't have all this outcry. Like,
trashing on Jason Aldean, calling him racist, saying that the town he's from is racist, and calling the song racist over and over again. You can see why, if you watch especially the entire segment, why he would be suing them, why he would be suing The View and Whoopi Goldberg specifically for defamation. You could definitely see in that clip, you could see that there's some grounds, but if you watch the entire thing, I already did a video on it, so if you want to go check that out, I go over all of the clips of all of them just trashing on this song and defaming Jason Aldean and the song of Try That in a Small Town. So if you didn't see that, I would definitely recommend you go check that out. But let me know what you're thinking about Jason Aldean actually standing his ground and suing Whoopi Goldberg and The View for saying that he is racist. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this whole Jason Aldean Try That in a Small Town situation.
hey, listen, if that song
Listen to the song.
really is racist, as people say, right? Racist. Then what are the rappers, and not just rappers, but because I don't want to seem like I'm just targeting rappers, but any musician that speaks about, murdering and, but really specifically, I have to say rappers because that's the ones I really hear talking about murdering people in their own communities. How's that not? What are they then? You get what I'm saying? And it seems like they get awards for that. When you look at a lot of these musicians who, they promote lust, so much lust, and promote just pretty much being fake, living a fake, overly, just materialistic lifestyle. What do we call them? What do we call that? People who they pretty much dumb down, the youth, dumb down the kids coming up. What do we call that? But I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. And original link in the description. This will be in my Wow Reactions playlist. And I'll be back with more soon. Much love, everybody.